Well, listen, my model is way different. Turkey has things that he's obligated to over the next 18 months. I want to break the sport down and build it from the ground up like we did the UFC. So I'm on a different path.
Dana White shut down the talk of Crawford versus Canelo under TKO, making it clear that he's not interested in quick fights and wants to tear boxing apart and rebuild it his way. Turki Alalshik is making things worse with a strong comment, even though Dana White has already made his position clear. He said, "We will let you know all the details about the Canelo versus Crawford fight after May 3rd. This is the biggest fight in boxing history." With those words, the excitement went through the roof. As soon as the fight started, fans and experts started to guess whether it would really end in a TKO or go in a different direction. The promise of an official release made people even more sure that a big plan was being made. If this fight becomes a reality, it has the potential to reshape the boxing landscape. However, with White following his own vision, it's clear that boxing is at a turning point with major moves unfolding on different fronts. This fight isn't just between two superstars. It's also about who rules the future of boxing. As rumors grow, a new layer of intrigue has been added. The details aren't just being kept under wraps, they're being strategically withheld until the right time. It's not just about making people excited. It's also about changing the balance of power in the fight game. Now there's talk of a surprise that could make everything different.
We will not announce it before the 3rd. All the details. And there is surprise about who will be the promoter of this big fight. And the platform, you will see the big fights in it. We finish everything, but I respect the request from Canelo. He wants to focus in his big fight and dangerous fight in the 3rd of May, and after that we will start to talk about the future.
The choice of promoter and streaming platform is very important. It changes the whole game. The winner of this decision will decide the next stage of boxing. Canelo is focused on his fight against William Skull on May 3rd. The real shakeup will come afterwards. The announcement won't just confirm the fight. It will show the forces shaping the sport's future. Dana White and other big players are all in the mix, but their roles remain uncertain. The stakes have never been higher, and the chessboard is set for a big power move. The speculation about Canelo versus Crawford isn't just coming from whispers, it's being fueled by big figures in the fight world with names like Dana White and Turki Alalshik involved. This isn't just another fight, it's a power play that could shape boxing's future. The talk of Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas as the venue only adds to the magnitude of what could be in the works if this event truly marks the first big move under TKO's new partnership with Ring Magazine. The sport is entering uncharted territory, but with White signaling a different direction, the road forward isn't as clear as it seems. Now all eyes are on the official confirmation. If this fight gets the green light, it could redefine what's possible in modern boxing marketing. The participation of TKO and Ring Magazine suggests a shift toward a new era of matchmaking, media coverage, and global reach. However, with multiple key players in the mix, the question isn't just whether the fight happens, but under whose banner it will take place. One thing is certain, this is bigger than just a super fight, it's a battle for control over boxing's future. The pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together. Turki Alalshik has full control over Canelo's next 4 fights, meaning he decides who promotes them, where they happen, and how they are structured. Unlike before when Canelo was under Matchroom Golden Boy or working with PBC, he now operates without a traditional promoter. This shift in power has left a door wide open for a new major player to step in, and with Dana White now working on events backed by Turkey and the Saudis, the landscape of boxing is on the verge of a massive shakeup. The fight game is changing and the big names are moving into position. He stated Turkey has a 4-fight deal with Canelo Alvarez, and he doesn't have an official promoter like when he was with Matchroom or with Golden Boy, or when he was doing fights with PBC and TGB he didn't stop there and further added, and so Dana is going to be doing these events for this unnamed company that Turkey and the Saudis are backing. This isn't just another business move, it's a shift in power at the highest level of the sport. Turkey's influence is growing rapidly and Dana White is now positioned as a key player in this new era of boxing. If these Saudi-backed events become the new standard, the traditional promoters who once controlled the sport could be left behind. The structure of boxing, which has long been fragmented, is now being reassembled by a new force, and with White involved, this isn't just about making fights, it's about reshaping the entire system, much like he did with the UFC. He stated, "I believe, and I've heard the rumblings over the last couple of days, that it would seem logical that in the end the TK-based company will end up promoting to fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in September. If these rumors hold weight, then Crawford versus Canelo under TKO is more than just speculation, it's becoming the likely reality. This would mark a major milestone not just for the fighters involved but for the sport itself. A TKO-led promotion for this fight would signal the official arrival of a new powerhouse in boxing. The September showdown wouldn't just be about two legends colliding, it would be the event that cements a new age, with everything unfolding behind the scenes. The fight world is on the edge of its seat, waiting for the final news. The effect of Dana White's involvement isn't just being felt at the top, it's making waves among the fighters too. With TKO's possible entry into boxing promotion, the talk is shifting. Beyond just super fights, fighters are now considering what this means for contracts, pay structures, and chances in a sport that has long been controlled by traditional promoters. One of the most vocal stars in the fight game, Ryan Garcia, has weighed in on the situation, giving his take on what Dana's presence could mean for the future of boxing.
That's it. What do you make of Dana White entering the world of boxing and teaming up with Sheik Turkey?
Yeah, I mean, if they pay like the UFC, though, we might not like it. We might not like it, but I'm happy, Dana's getting involved. He's a great dude, and I'm sure they're going to do big things.
His words highlight the biggest question facing TKO's potential role in fighter pay. The UFC has long been criticized for its fighter compensation, and if TKO applies a similar strategy to boxing, it could change the financial dynamics of the sport. At the same time, Garcia admits that Dana's involvement brings legitimacy and big opportunities. With his track record of growing combat sports, there's no question that major moves are coming. Whether this shift benefits all fighters or causes new challenges remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: boxing structure is being redefined right in front of our eyes. Dana White has never been one to follow tradition. He's all about disrupting the system and building something better. As talk of his involvement in boxing grows, the biggest question isn't just who he'll support, but how he plans to fix a sport that's been broken for years. Boxing has long been plagued by politics, mismatch fights, and winners avoiding the toughest challenges. White, who turned the UFC into a global powerhouse, has a clear vision for what needs to change. He stated, probably you know the best fighting, the best. That comment is as direct as it gets for White. The key to reviving boxing is easy. Make the biggest fights happen with no excuses. In the UFC, the best athletes are forced to face each other, and White wants to bring that same energy to boxing. No more endless talks, no more ducking top contenders, just the fights fans actually want. If he succeeds, this could remove the frustrating politics that have slowed the sport down for years. Turkey, Al-Sheikh and the Saudis are backing big moves. White isn't just talking. He's setting the stage for boxing's biggest transformation in decades, as is reported to take charge of promoting Canelo versus Crawford. Dana White's philosophy of making the biggest fights happen is already being tried. A fight of this size is exactly what fans have been demanding. Two of the best, no politics, no delays, with both fighters having dominated their classes. This matchup is more than just another title bout, it's a legacy fight that could define this new age of boxing. White, who has built a career on delivering blockbuster events, gets the significance of such a clash, but when it came to predicting a winner, his response was measured.
I don't know. I mean, these are two guys that have accomplished a lot. You know, it's one of what you would call a super fight. And I do super fights, so.
Who do you feel wins?
I don't know. I don't know.
Will you be at attendance? Will you be there?
Probably. More than likely, yes.
His words represent the true nature of a super fight. There are no easy picks. Canelo's power, experience, and championship pedigree make him a real threat, while Crawford's unmatched skill, precision, and versatility give him just as much of an edge. This is the type of fight where anything can happen, and that's what makes it special. Whether TKO officially steps in to promote it or not, the buzz surrounding this fight is obvious. If this truly marks the beginning of a new era in boxing, Canelo vs. Crawford could be the event that sets the bar for the future. With Dana White stepping into boxing and TKO bringing UFC, WWE, and boxing under the same umbrella, the fight world is bracing for a new age of matchups. The options seem endless, and fans are already dreaming of the biggest fights that once felt impossible as speculation grows over what this new structure could mean. Voices from across combat sports and culture are weighing in on the matchups they want to see. One name keeps coming up: Canelo vs. Crawford. Among those pushing for this fight is Big E, who made it clear that this is the one the fans are wanting.
Man, can we get Bud and Canelo? Can we please get Bud Crawford and Canelo? I don't know if we're gonna see it, but man, I think that's what damn near all fight fans want to see.
His excitement mirrors what fight fans around the world are thinking. This is the super fight boxing needs, with both champions at the peak of their powers. This matchup isn't just about belts or classes, it's about greatness. If TKO's impact leads to the fights fans actually want, Canelo vs. Crawford could be the fight that sets the tone for the future. The hype is building, and the band is only getting louder. If boxing is truly entering a new era, this is exactly the kind of fight that will define it. Big E's excitement for Canelo vs. Crawford isn't just about the fight itself. It's about delivering the kind of matchups that define boxing history, with Dana White, TKO, and big players in the fight game pushing for change. This fight represents everything fans want to see. To undisputed champions to elite skill sets, and a fight that could seal legacies, the demand is clear. This is the fight fans are rallying behind, and as the conversation heats up, Big E took it a step further by making his own prediction on how this clash could play.
I don't know, man. I can't root against Bud right now. You wonder if Canelo and the miles start to catch up. It's a great fight. Obviously, Canelo's the bigger man, but seeing Bud put some weight on, I won't root against Bud. Gun to my head, I'll go Bud Crawford.
His breakdown shows the razor-thin margins that make this fight so compelling. Canelo's size, experience, and championship pedigree give him a clear edge, but Crawford's adaptability, skill, and momentum make him just as dangerous. Size will play a big role, but Crawford's technical brilliance and ability to adjust could be the equalizer. With both men at the top of their game, this is as close to a 50-50th fight as boxing has seen in years. More voices continue to weigh in, and the rising momentum behind this potential showdown is bringing it closer to reality. Big E's faith in Terence Crawford isn't just hype. It's based on what he's already seen. As the discussion around Canelo vs. Crawford grows, he continues to break down why he thinks but has what it takes to pull off a victory. Crawford's skill, mindset, and ability to dominate elite opponents have already been proven on the biggest stage. The Spence fight, which many expected to be a close match, turned into a one-sided masterclass. Now Big E is doubling down on his opinion that Crawford can handle Canelo, but this time in a much different type of fight.
A decision. I don't think he'd finish Canelo, but I think we'd see a decision. I was actually just watching the highlights of the Spence fight, and my God, we went into that thinking it was going to be a 50-50 fight, and it was not.
Dude, I was there for that one.
Yeah.
And everyone in the media sector was like, oh.
Shocking. It was shocking to see. Bud is a dog, though.
His assessment points to a technical, strategic war rather than a knockout finish. Canelo's longevity and size make him incredibly tough to stop, but Crawford's precision and relentless pressure could lead to a clear decision. Victory. The way Crawford dismantled Spence was a statement showing that he can rise to any challenge and dominate even the most feared opponents, while Canelo is a totally different test. Big E thinks Bud's dog mindset and skill will carry him through. As more voices continue to analyze this matchup, the fight world is locked in, knowing that if this bout happens, it could be one of the most legendary battles in boxing history. Dmitry Bivol knows exactly what it takes to fight at the highest level against bigger opponents. As a dominant light heavyweight champion, he knows the challenges of moving up in weight and how size can impact a fight. With the conversation surrounding Canelo vs. Crawford intensifying, Bivol's perspective adds a valuable layer to the discussion. Many have questioned whether Crawford, coming up to weight classes, can handle the power and physicality of Canelo. However, Bivol, who has shared the ring with Canelo himself, has a unique insight into what it would take for Bud to pull off the upset.
First reaction, of course, it was about size of Crawford. Is it okay for him to move up for 2 weight classes, yeah, or not? But then I saw him in Dubai maybe a month ago. I saw him. He's big, and he has very good skills. He's one of my favorite boxers. He able to win this fight.
His opinion shifts the conversation beyond just size. Crawford's skill, adaptability, and natural skills make him a real threat. Seeing Crawford in person, Bivol was struck by his physical presence, suggesting that the weight jump may not be as big of an issue as some think. More importantly, Bivol recognizes Crawford's top boxing IQ and technical brilliance traits that have allowed him to dominate every opponent he has faced. If one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world thinks he has a legitimate shot, it only adds to the growing belief that this could be one of the most competitive fights in modern boxing. With each new perspective, the hype for Canelo versus Crawford continues to grow, turning speculation into expectation. Dmitry Bivol's respect for Crawford's skills is clear, but he also knows the real challenges that come with moving up in weight, while Crawford has the talent to compete with anyone. The reality of stepping into the ring at 168 pounds brings new factors that can't be ignored. Strength, endurance, and the ability to take punches from naturally bigger opponents all play a role in how a fighter performs at a new weight class. Bivol, having faced Canelo himself, knows directly how different the fight feels when dealing with a physically stronger opponent.
But there is a lot of but, and even not but, there is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know how he will deal with this. He needs to get used to the power and pressure of 168, because it's big difference, to be honest. Maybe he will get used to it, and how he will be feeling himself on the same day when he will fighting, how his training camp will go on, a lot of things. But he's able, he has good skills, he's awkward.
His breakdown shows the small details that could make a difference. Adjusting to Canelo's power, pressure, and speed at a heavier weight is a test Crawford has never faced before. Training camp, weight management, and how he feels on fight night will all play a big role in his ability to compete. If Crawford can make the shift easily, his skill set gives him a real shot. However, if the extra weight slows him down or affects his durability, it could change the entire dynamic of the fight. Bivol sees the potential in Crawford, but he also knows that moving up isn't just about skill. It's about adapting to a totally new level of competition. Dmitry Bivol has already shared the ring with Canelo Alvarez, so he knows exactly what makes him such a dangerous opponent. While much of the talk has focused on whether Crawford can handle the size and power at 168 pounds, there's another factor that can't be overlooked: Canelo's defensive mastery. Many see him as just a power puncher, but his ability to avoid damage and control the pace of a fight is just as amazing. Bivol, who gave Canelo one of his rare losses, knows how difficult it is to break through that defense and land clean shots. He stated, "Of course he's good. He has a good defense. This is one of his good sides. He's using his body a lot for defense." Canelo's defensive skills go beyond just slipping punches. He uses his full body to deflect shots, roll with punches, and position himself for counters. His compact frame and upper body movement make him extremely hard to hit clean, even against top fighters. This is where Crawford's high fight IQ and ability to adjust will be tried. If Bud can figure out how to break through Canelo's defense, he could outbox him over 12 rounds. But if Canelo forces him into a more physical fight, his defensive skills mixed with his power could make it a long night for Crawford. With both fighters bringing top skills to the table, this isn't just about size. It's about who can impose their style more effectively. The buzz around Canelo versus Crawford continues to grow, with top voices in the fight world weighing in on what could be one of the biggest fights in modern fighting. Dana White, TKO, Turkey, Alalshik and the Saudis are making major moves, possibly reshaping the sport as we know it. Fighters, experts and fans are all debating whether Crawford's skills and adaptability can overcome Canelo's size, power and defensive mastery, while some think Bud's speed and technical brilliance will lead him to victory. Others argue that Canelo's experience at higher weights will be too much to handle. What do you think? Can Crawford make history by moving up to weight classes and beating one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world? Or will Canelo prove that size, power and experience are too much to overcome? Will TK officially take charge of promoting this fight? And could this be the first true mega event of Dana White's boxing vision? Let us know your thoughts in the comment part below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this.